Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Doodle Robot and today I'm going to take you along in these three books. We've got Dragons and Magical Beasts, Animal Kingdom, and Amazing Patterns Zen Doodle. My thought process, they're all different in altering pages. So that's our plan today. So I'm going to flick you off, and these are just snippets. None of them, well, one is done, but the other two are not done. They're not done yet, but it's my start, how I think about my process for altering pages in different ways. All right, so I'll see you in the next clip. Hi guys, I thought I would pop on and show you what I'm doing with this page. This is in Dragons and Magical Beasts Extreme Coloring Book. It's a really cool coloring book. I don't know if it's still in print. I got it some time ago. It's got dragons and magical beasts from all sorts of different cultures, so it's super cool. But I'm going to do this one. I'm going to make these rain dancers. So I'm going to blot out this whole background here. That's just too busy even for me. So I'm going to make it more in Southwest style. So I'm going to tilt you down. I'm just going to start blotting out the background. Okay, I'm back. I thought I'd show you what I was doing here. I finished the background, took three coats, but it didn't take very long. Less time than like doing it with pencil. And of course you couldn't cover that up with pencil. So I did the sun. That's three different colors. We got light, kind of medium, and the darkest sun color basically. And now I'm sketching out my horizon line, like the mesas that you see in the southwest, the interesting mountain features, the land features. So I've got one layer, I've got a second layer. You can see I'm like tentative. I can always fix it with paint. I've got paint, it's fine. So we'll have a lighter layer, a darker layer, maybe a third layer down here, I'm not sure. We'll see how these two go first. So that is where I'm at. I'm not sure if I'm going to do the ground in paint. I kind of want to do it in paint, but I don't know yet. My layers are going to get darker, darker, darker the closer they come to me. So that's the plan. It's just a stylized kind of landscape in the background. You know, so you're not focused on that, you're focused on the foreground things. All right, we'll see you in a bit. Okay, we're back. I thought I'd show you my progress thus far. We got layer 1, layer 2. I'm going to do a layer here, and then I'm going to do a bit of a dark layer here where the ground actually is, where it shows some little mountains there. So after I do that, I'll be back to show you what that looks like. Okay, I am done with the background. I do need to add a cloud or two. There's not going to be very many because they're doing a rain dance, so they're praying for rain basically. And I'll do those also kind of in Southwest Native American style. And that's probably all that's going to be altered. I don't know yet. I don't know where this is going. I just know I couldn't deal with that background. Like I said, I love a lot of the pictures in here, but wow, you got to get rid of some stuff. You have to alter in a way to take away some stuff so that you can see what's going on. Yeah, and there's a lot of different ways to do that, but it's a super cool book. So, all right, that is it for this one. I'll see you in the next altered pages. One quick thing I almost forgot, I'll tell you which paints I used. The background is Sun-Kissed Peach Apple Barrel Matte. I swear by Apple Barrel, I have since I started coloring. I used these before that even. The layers here of the mountains and the mesas are a mixture of Sun-Kissed Peach, light mocha, territorial beige, and burnt umber. I know this is solid burnt umber here. I think all the others are just mixtures of these colors. I can't remember, even though I just did it like 10 minutes ago. So, okay, now on to the other altered pages. Hi guys, I thought I would pop on here and just do a little video about how I kind of pull out images from my book here, my black and white book. This is your handheld, so apologies for the shakiness or whatever. This is Amazing Patterns and Doodle. I show it every month. It's my black and white book, but here, this is such a cool image that I found. This is like a big Rorschach test, basically. The whole book is a Rorschach test. I found this page with these images on it, and I really like this image. It reminds me of an abstract bird or something. So I started with this part, and I went slowly around. I wasn't sure if I wanted to include this part or not, or just get rid of it, but I think I'm going to leave it. And then I saw this part down here. I'm like, oh, it's kind of like a bird, and then we have a gap, and then we have its bottom of its tail feathers or something. So super abstracted bird, but really cool. So I'm going to do that to all of the other 4 birds, and I'm not sure if I'm going to keep this middle part or get rid of it yet. So we shall see. I'll pop back in a little bit and show you where it's at. Okay, so I thought I'd pop back on and show you where we are. I did decide to, you can see here where I'm kind of working it out in my mind. I did decide to take that away. So I went and I thought it would look nicer with that like curly Q there. So I took that away, this whole section here. And I also took away some of this part too, like I drew a little line right there and blacked that out just so it's a little more streamlined, and I filled this little curly Q here in. I had originally just drawn around it just to make it a little, like I said, more streamlined. I'm not sure, this space might be too big here. I may have to maybe do some drawing and just lessen it a little bit, but I'm gonna black out the rest of it with, I'm gonna find a bigger Posca pen for that, and we'll see where we are on the composition of it, and then I can make more adjustments as needed, or maybe I will decide that I like it. Alright, so you'll probably not see that part. You'll probably just see it in finished pages, I think. I'm not sure. If I come back, I come back. If I don't, I don't. But we'll continue with the whips. Okay, so I did come back. I thought I would show you, I do think that the center feature there is too big. So I've taken my little, like, fine liner pen here, and I just, on these books, I don't usually do it in pencil. I just kind of wing it. So it's just one of those quick, easy things. So I'm gonna make it smaller, and then I'm gonna fill that in with black. And then I don't know what I'm gonna do. I know I'm gonna add something. I'm gonna add silver, I think, to some of the elements here. So I won't be back for that. You'll just see the page in my finished pages for November. All right. Today I'm going to take you along with me on altering this page just a little, not a huge alteration. As you can see, I have started coloring the background pink. Oh, by the way, let's see here. This is Millie Murata's Animal Kingdom. It's an awesome book. I love it. I've started painting it pink. I am using Apple Barrel Pink Parfait to paint the background pink. It takes 2 coats, plus here and there, spotting, fixing some spots. I'll show you how I do that in a second. Tiny brush. These are very delicate things to paint around. But I was, as I was painting, and I was thinking about painting the whole thing pink, but the pattern of the grasshoppers actually gets messed up over here. I don't know what was happening with the editor there. So you'll notice it goes like, we got one design, blank, different design, blank, same design here. And this one is a different design. We got blank, design, blank, design, blank. But over here, like, I think the editor just stuck something on there and the whole pattern gets messed up. That kind of bugs me. So, I was concerned that I would run out of pink paint because there's not that much in there. I think there's enough to do the rest, hopefully. Fingers crossed. I'm like, what if I run out of paint? What can I do? And it made me think that, like, in advertising, they'll do something like they'll have an image, and on one side they'll have a block color with, like, information or something, or some other image or designs or whatever. So I think, as I was painting, I'm like, I kind of like that idea. I could do some graffiti over there. And as I've been painting, I was just going to leave it pink, but now I'm thinking of big circles here, so it's kind of turning into an altered piece. So I think right now I've drawn my line here. It took me forever to figure out where I was going to draw this line, but this is what I've decided on. I'm going to paint this black, just to black out those things. And the circles that I do over here will actually happen on this black part here. And then I'll eventually decide what I'm going to put there. I don't have a clue what it is yet, but we will we will see. So that's where we are right now. I think I will move the camera and I'll invite you back for a little bit of pink painting just to see how that's done. And then I'll probably paint the black off camera and then I'll show you whatever I'm going to do next. All right, see you in a bit. So when I'm painting this, I'm not really worried about painting neatly or anything, as I know it's going to take 2 coats. So I'm not worried about any streaking or anything. I do try to feather out my paint a little bit. And I'll go through typically and do a whole bunch of lining. And then I will come back and do, with a larger brush, do the big areas. And then I'll do lining again and then the big areas again. Not necessarily in that order. Sometimes I do the big areas first and then line afterwards. Doesn't really matter. And I am going to block out that as well, because there's none over there. You can't see that up there. No antenna pokes through. A little here, a little there. It's a little bit crooked. That's okay. Hopefully the pink will cover that. It might take more than 2 coats. I may have to resort to something like antique white. And then cover it pink on top of that. I'll show you my palette. I only get out a drop of paint at a time. You can see it looks like Sully's skin or something. Just a drop of paint at a time because it dries fast, it gets too thick fast, which is why I kind of vacillate between kind of doing the edges and then doing the flat parts, the middle parts. Because I want my paint to be, I want it to paint like butter. So it needs to be that just right consistency. If you're an impatient person, this isn't going to be for you. But for me, it's the perfect stemming activity. It just calms my whole central nervous system down, calms my brain. Gosh, I'm sorry, the video is shaking. All right. Hopefully that will be cleaned up in. At the end, the video says Gives me an option to stabilize it. Really have to get my shelf hung. Hopefully that will solve the problem. You always want to wet your brush first. So I've wet my brush. I'm kind of squeegeeing the water off of it. I had way too much water here when I was painting. I was just trying to use up the last bit of paint. So it does go on a little bit thicker than right there. Some areas I can edge with the bigger brush, some areas I don't dare try. It's just easier to go in with the smaller brush and not have to fix any mistakes. Where you stop painting, try to thin the line, try to feather it out. Thin to win, think thin to win. It's always better to do several thin coats rather than thick gloppy coats. Okay, so the pink is not going to cover the black lines that I want to erase, those two little areas. I will have to get out some, it's just apple barrel. Antique white is pretty opaque, so I'll do a couple of, maybe 1-2 layers, I'm not sure what it will take. 2 layers of that, and then I'll just continue to paint with it pink. I'm probably going to finish the pink first and then do the black here. So I'll meet you back here, and that's just, I'm just block painting black over that. Maybe I'll meet you back here to do the black. We'll see how it goes. So I'll see you in a bit for the next steps. So I thought I would show you me blotting out the lines with the antique white, just for giggles. I'm gonna shake my paint here. There's not very much in here. It might be getting thick and gloppy. Oh gosh. Okay. All right, and since I'm not going to be using very much, I'm just going to dip out of the lid here, which I would normally do, because I don't want my paint to dry out here. I don't necessarily want my paint to dry there. I'm squeegeeing off my brush again. I've wet it. It's in the water. Let's get a little bit of antique white. Yeah, it's pretty gloppy in here. Are you in focus? Yes. Remember, thin to win. It's tempting to put it on there gloppy and really get it with one go, but it's probably going to take 2 coats, or maybe just this in pink. There's what I call like painting boogers here. That's what my little rag here is for. Let's try not to get some gloppy paint. No, I think the antique white is just much thicker than the pink was. I've got another antique white. I got a new one because this one is getting. But if we can feather out the edges, it will all blend together. So I'm just trying to smooth the edges. Doesn't matter if I go over this line, it's going to be black. It's going to be cleaned up with black paint there. Let's do a smidge more here. And then I'm just going to paint the rest with pink, and we'll meet you back here then. Okay, we are going to paint this part black. Oh, a little nervous. Nervous because I don't know like where this is going. I have a conception of an idea. Oh, making fun of somebody there. Sorry. All right. Let's see here. I haven't had good luck with tape in coloring books, so I am just going to do it by hand. This is not a very good brush, though. My mid-range brushes, my mid-size brushes, I bought new brushes, but I haven't got them out yet. I haven't got them out of the package yet. I probably should do that because this brush is horrible. I kind of got you as close as I can get you. That might be a little better. I plan on doing 2 coats, so I'm just putting on a thin layer. On my second pass, I'll make sure that that's a little bit better. I want to make sure that none of my strokes have like a line. That's why you see me going in different directions. So you don't get a weird liney kind of look in your painting. Once you have that, the more coats you put on, you can't get rid of it. And I'm just using Apple Barrel Black matte. So this technique that you see me doing in broad strokes, I do the same thing when I'm in a small area as best as I can with obviously a much smaller brush to, get it to have that nice flat look. It's harder because sometimes you can't go in all different directions, but you just do the best you can. It isn't necessarily going to be perfect everywhere, but it is what it is. So close. I almost had enough paint. Oh gosh, I've made myself seriously messy here. All right, that is coat one. I'll come across, like, I don't know how I do this. I'll let this dry and then I'll do coat two and we'll meet back here for whatever the next step is in my concept of a plan here. All right, see you in a bit. I thought I would give you a behind the scenes look here after I painted my second coat. How it curled up. Is that easy to see? It's very curly. It's okay. I'll flatten that out. Okay, welcome back. It's been a hot minute for me, but for you it's been like a nanosecond. I forgot I was filming this and started working over here. So, I finished the black. I put my grasshopper stencil away, but whoa, I'm not even touching the table. And you're shaking. Sorry about that. I did this with a stencil, and then I used an Ohuhu acrylic marker. I numbered mine. It's number 9 for me over here. And there'll be some graffiti here. I've drawn on the circles, which you can kind of sort of see. I started coloring them in. I wanted to, this is kind of an experiment, I wanted to save myself a little time and maybe only have to do one coat of paint on the circle, so I'm going over it with Arctic's acrylic markers. These are kind of the transparent ones. I'll show you the box. Hold on. It's right here. It's these acrylic markers. I like orange and pink together, so I want orange bubbles, at least on the bright side of the work here. Over here, I don't know what color that will be. We'll see later as I go along. So my plan was to do one coat of the acrylic marker on all the bubbles, and then I'm going to have to outline where the pencil is, and then probably do another coat with regular acrylic paint. We'll see. Maybe I'll try to do another coat with this, although the pencil, if you accidentally touch this with the pencil, it smears it and you see it. So yeah, I don't know. And I want to outline last with the liner that I'm going to use, so I don't want to do it now. So these are the problems you run into when doing a piece. But I thought I'd show you where we are with that right now, and I'll pop back on a bit later with whatever the next step is going to be. I have no idea. So we'll see you soon. Bye bye. Alright, I'm back to shoot an outro to my video here. So on the grasshopper page, which, sorry, this was going to be a whole color along with me, but I've grown weary of doing that, so we're just going to wrap it up with where I am at now and say goodbye. So what I've done is the original color that I had that I was doing the dots in kind of ran out. As I got over here, it kind of ran out. So I picked another color and did that on top with the same style of marker and worked this way and over. As I got over here, of course, it started running out too. So I'm not sure I like this color orange. The goal in using those markers was I'm coloring on top of the pink, or painting on top of the pink now with acrylic paint, and acrylic paint is mostly transparent for the most part. So I wanted to give myself a color, and I wanted it to be orange at the time. I don't know if I still want it to be orange. We shall see. I'm going to do the bugs first. That way, with whatever my final color choice is, I can just go over it and do it with hopefully just one coat. So goal accomplished. Although this stuff is weird. It's like sticky. I prefer my matte paints. This stuff is not as good. I have since based the grasshoppers in their lightest color. So for example, I did grasshopper research. These grasshoppers are going to be black. Obviously that's their lighter color. I may put, I think these, I have pictures saved on my phone. I think these ones had some red in them. I'll just do that with a paint pen or a gel pen, whatever I have the color of. So yeah, this grasshopper's not going to be that bright, glow in the dark yellow there, like he came out of toxicity or something. Toxic bug color. That's just one of the colors in their body, and they have darker colors. So I kind of pick their lightest color to base them with, and then I can go and do the other colors that are in each grasshopper style. On top of that, makes it easier. I haven't done anything over here. I don't know what color the circles will be on the black. I think I want this to say something here. Something ironic. I'm thinking along the terms of, like, these are the, it's always a social statement with me. These are the CEOs, the big wigs over here in my mind. So I think I'm going to do something ironic, like stay in the lines. Because they're in lines, and yet it has a double meaning. So it's going to be something like that. We'll see. I don't know if I'm going to paint it on or collage it on, or I've been getting into a bit of the collage lately. So we'll see. I don't know where that's going to go yet. I don't know when I'm going to finish this page, if it's going to be November, December, January, whenever. So that's kind of where we are now. That's my thinking. Things always change, they morph, they change. That's just the way I roll. So that is it for this robot report. I will look forward to seeing you next time. Live long and prosper. Bye-bye.